Morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So, our topics today is about mobility in 2050. Yeah. So, please, Nick and Pete, tell us something more about what your company is helping us solving our daily mobility problem. Pete, go first.
Who here's heard of go-jek? Only a couple. Basically, what go-jek is it's an on-demand ecosystem. It's an on-demand platform, and what we do is we don't just do ride-hailing. We have 18 verticals all in one. So we do transport, we do logistics, we do shopping, we do food delivery, we do um, online ticket buying, and it's become our business is actually not in transport or in anything. Our business is in trading time, because these are the things that you do every single day that you outsource to somebody else, and that gives you a little bit more time. Currently, we're working together with about 400,000 driver partners on motorcycles and in cars, and about 10,000 talents in some of the other businesses that we have. And it really just comes down to, how to make you as an individual a lot more efficient by getting the things that you do every day and outsourcing them to other people.
About
Great. Hi, my name is Nick Sugimoto. I run Honda's Open Innovation Lab based in Mountain View, California. Our mission is to collaborate with innovators, not only in Silicon Valley, but also global, ranging from small startups to big guys like Apple or Google, and create together a new future value for our customers, which may go into our future products or which may go into our future business model. We have a small team, like a couple of dozen people working in my team, actively, proactively scouting new innovations from outside and connect with Honda people.
Yeah, do you guys have some cases to show? What do you think the relationship really between cars and app and individuals nowadays, and how it gonna evolve in the following years?
So for us, the way we look at mobility and mobility now has been talked about in the context of autonomous cars and getting somewhere faster and it being more efficient. But for us, we don't look at mobility in a linear manner, because in this case it's about getting somebody from A to B, and for us it's really about how does the world work around you. Because you don't need to go from A to B, right? You don't have to go and go to the restaurant to pick up your food, or go do your groceries, or things like that. And for us, the way that we look at it is going back to what I had mentioned before. The less time you spend going out and doing things, the more time you have to do whatever it is. Spend time with your family, work on a startup. Prepare your pitch for the rise stage, right? It allows you that effort, and honestly speaking, I don't think it's cars versus apps. It's the convergence of both, because one can't exist without the other.
Okay. How about Nick?
I totally agree. As you know, our customers are having more and more options for mobility. Traditionally, simply owning a car or owning a motorcycle, that was very old-fashioned mobility style. Now today, all the ride-hailing services, Uber or Lyft, or Grab, we invested in that company recently. So all of those are coming into play. So you, as a customer, you have more options to move around. An app is an enabler to make it possible, and also smartphone as a hardware you carry around. That's also a very important enabler technology that runs apps on top of it. And the future, we see the car or motorcycle we build will be also a platform. So our future product will run apps. Then you can do more stuff in your car or on your motorcycle, in cabin or before you ride or after you finish the ride, you can do more stuff. So yeah, it's not app versus car; it's a convergence, and definitely more functions, more features are coming into mobility in the form of apps.
Yeah, interesting. So in that case, if cars is not your competitors, then apps is not your competitor. So what do you think the greatest challenge for you guys right now?
I would say that the greatest challenge for us is to really try to balance this the way innovation is outpacing regulation. Because what we're trying to do here, we're innovating to make all of our lives better. Um, and not just in Indonesia and in the U.S., actually all over the world. The challenge that we're facing is that in a lot of cases, regulation isn't ready for it, isn't ready to keep up with the
Yeah.
speed of innovation. So, we at the end of the day, it really comes down to what makes the consumers' lives easier, better, safer, more comfortable, and that's what we'll constantly strive to do.
But like you mentioned outpacing, so is it go-jek only in doing business in Indonesia market right now?
Yeah, so we're only based in Indonesia, and we're only working with the different regulatory bodies in Indonesia. But you see what's going on in the news, and whether it's Indonesia, Poland, Japan,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same challenge.
So will you worry about maybe one day that Gojek wants to move out to other overseas markets and maybe encounter some of the laws and regulations problems in other places?
Well, at this point, we don't really have any intention of going overseas. Indonesia's got 260 million people, of which only about 110 million are connected to the internet, which means that there's 140 million left. And if we do go overseas, we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Okay, so how about next? So
Yeah, we are-
your AI technology will need to your cars will go to everywhere, not only Japan.
Exactly.
And,
Okay, so our operation is global, obviously.
yeah.
And globally, there are four major trends sort of attacking our industry. Autonomy or AI, the technology is big thing. And also connectivity. Car or motorcycle will be connected all the time. And also electrification. More and more our future products are powered by electricity, electric motor, not combustion engines. And also sharing economy, car sharing or ride sharing. So all of those new trends are changing or reshaping, I would say, our customers' mobility choice. So how do we
So
do
what's
that?
your biggest challenge right now?
Yeah, how do we respond to that? Well, as a matter of fact, Honda is the world's largest engine producer. We build probably about like 15 or 80 million motorcycles per year. All of those have combustion engine.
Yeah, I think half of those are in Jakarta.
Almost, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And 5 million automobiles. So it's a huge challenge for Honda to transform from combustion engine based power plant to electric power plant. So yeah, we are to do that to cope with all of those challenges. We believe open innovation is really the key. It's, other words, collaboration with innovators. At the end of last year, we announced our partnership with Waymo, the Google's self-driving team. Many car companies had a little bit talk with them, and many of them were scared because they saw Waymo or Google as a competitor potentially, and we saw a little bit differently. We are a car company. We are not really good at building software, huge software stack. Although we do a lot, but Google, by far, they are more well equipped, more talented to do that. So okay, then why don't we team up
Yeah.
together? And Google doesn't want to build a car, and we are good at building a good car. And why don't we combine those two together and give more different option to our customer for mobility?
So how about the system? The system you are developing right now. So also the technology from both sides, or
Yeah, we are developing our own self-driving technology in-house, which is targeting more individual consumers' ownership vehicle, which is our business domain. What we are discussing with Google is more, I would say, driverless chauffeur service or ride service type of vehicle. So that's a little bit different in design and also use case. So I think traditionally Honda was not really in that business of creating taxi type of vehicles. So it's a kind of new business for us. But with that partnership, I think this could be a game changer for individual consumers' mobility choice.
Yeah, so I would like to move on to another topic like safety, which is really important to both ride-hailing apps and also the car manufacturers itself. So do you have any systems or how you go-jek on guarantee the passenger or your app users their safety? And also self-driving technology is so transformation technology, right? So how you gonna guarantee people, assure people that this technology is so developed that we can trust it? Yeah.
So for us, there's a couple of things about safety and comfort. First of all, we have insured both our riders and our drivers. Second of all, because everything is going through an app and using GPS location, we understand the location of all our drivers at all times.
So everything is trackable.
So everything is trackable, yes. So previously when folks would take a motorcycle taxi, you had actually no guarantee. You didn't know who the guy was. You had no idea, what type of a driver he was, etc. The second part of it, and that's really important, and a lot of people actually kind of glance over it at the end. But at the end of your ride, it doesn't matter which ride-hailing app you use. There's a rating screen, and that rating screen is there for a reason, right? That's the way that we take a look at the quality of work, because if the rating is lower than 4 stars, we actually dig into it and see what's going on. After you go give your rating, you actually give a reason. Why is it lower? Why is it this way? What did you not like about your experience? And that's how we can actually, at scale, try to make sure that we keep things in line.
Just to make sure, you still read the 5-star comments, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so how about next?
Well, when we build a car or a motorcycle or whatever vehicle, of course, safety is not something we can compromise. It's always number one. So right now, internally, we are talking about like 2021 or 22 model
5
year.
years later.
Yeah, model year vehicle. So which comes in calendar year 2020 or 2021. So it's still a few years away. Yeah, it's kind of slow than you guys, but there's a reason, because we have to make sure all the hardware, all the software code is functional, and there's no fatal bug in that. So that's why it takes a little bit more time. But that does not mean it's okay for us to move slow. No. That's why, as I said earlier, our future cars and the future motorcycles will be just a platform. So we just make sure the safety as a platform, and we introduce new feature as an app later. So since it's app, as soon as you create app, you can introduce the new function. A good example is we teamed up with Visa to create in-car payment app. So once it's launched from the car, you can pay anything. You can even order a hamburger and finish payment, and to pick up your order on the way to your home or to your work. So by decoupling the fast-moving innovation from relatively slow and safety-critical product, by separating those two, we can still introduce a really fast way and the new features to our customers.
So is it your target market changing? So because the people's the mobility habits is changing?
Well, market definitely is changing, particularly in the urban metro area. Globally, younger generation don't buy car anymore. They're just happy using Uber or whatever, or public transportation, or even bicycle. So yeah, market definitely is changing, but it's not because we are changing. That the market is changing. It's because we need to move ahead of the change. That's why we are designing our future cars, the future products that way, making a platform totally separating from app innovation. So that's the reason.
Yeah. So my last questions will be, so seeing our future perspective in 2050, that what do you think will be the perfect state will be? How the apps will evolve and the cars evolve? Whether I would opens my app that a self-driving cars will come and pick me, and I don't need to expect a driver and anything. Maybe I rate a car, I give 5 stars to a car instead of a person.
I'll let you answer first.
Sure. Definitely by 2050, there are a number of self-driving vehicles already on the street, and you can go anywhere without driving. So that day will come by then, by 2050, for sure, we believe. So, and many things around you, including cars, will be voice-driven. So there's no display or anything. You just talk to them, and the machine understands what you want and take you to wherever you want, or do the job you want. So I think that's the future of not just mobility, but any human-machine interaction around you.
Yeah, apart from convenience or efficiency, what else a car can change? Or what's the difference, the cars in 2050 compared to...
It may not be called a car anymore.
Okay.
Because
I think she wants to know if they're going to fly.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe the
Save my time.
big drone, could fly you from A to B much faster than a car. And once every car is self-driving, car doesn't need to be built by steel, right? And it doesn't need to be crash tested because it doesn't crash. So it could be a plastic. So it's
Plastic one?
Yeah, very interesting paradigm change coming in the future.
And how about Pete? What's your vision for go-jek?
I mean, it's with all the different hardware changes, software and technology is still going to be part of how everything is done. Me personally, I think with voice and with all the machine learning and AI stuff we've been talking about, I think there's going to be a lot more anticipatory computing. So the device, I don't think it's going to be in the format of a phone in 30 years, but it will learn what you need, when you need it, how you need it, and be able to actually, to a certain level of automation, lead your life for you.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks
Thank you.
for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.